Okay, more updates of what is going on. What is going on is this. Okay, to recap, basically I lost it with my job and put my foot down about what I was willing to do for work. And then I had like this avoidant crisis about it. Try and see who's coming. Somebody's following me. Of the four-footed variety. Anyway, actually, I saw a lot of foxes, dead foxes in the streets this weekend, which was crazy. Okay, and then I went away on this trip that I didn't even want to take that turned out to be just exactly what I needed, and it was really great. And I'm going out of my way to sort of hold on to it and remember this is, the way things could be. I mean, this is going to be such a weird thing to say. I mean, I had been like this low level super stressed from work and, being just having the life sucked out of me by coping with my father, who did finally, I shouldn't put it like that, but he did eventually die. And he shouldn't have when he did. But then again, did I really want him to go on for years and years being absolutely tortured by whatever was going on in his head? That would have been pretty cruel, and that would have been pretty selfish of me to force somebody to do that when they had an out. Anyway, so when I went to Las Vegas, I was like 50% there. Some of it was amazing, but it was like sort of too hot to handle. I couldn't, felt like I was flying close to the sun. And I would cut things short. And I was really, it's like self-sabotaging. So I couldn't really sort of drop in and really focus on something else and get the full effect of what it has. When I went to Philadelphia in May, I was absolutely dull. It was, I don't know. I mean, there were like literal tiny 2-minute flashes where it would sort of break through. And I kept saying, oh, well, it's because, something's over there. I'm so overly familiar with the area and blah, blah, blah. No, it was a sign of depression is what it was. I don't notice it when I'm going into, unless I'm really bottoming out, I don't notice it. And I bet a lot of other people do, way before I do. But that absolute dullness, I did do things that I had never done before. I did do things I'd always done before. It wasn't just sort of a flashback thing, like remembering X, Y, and Z, although that may have helped, but that wasn't what it was. To have everything be that dull, it was depression. And it was caused by being overworked and all the rest of the other crap. So, going back to work and telling them that I had to limit what I was doing, that opened the doorway for the trip that I went to in New York, where, I didn't want to go. I really didn't. That sounds nuts, but I didn't. I was like, this is going to be a waste of time. This is going to be such a drag. First of all, I was expecting a repeat of the dullness that I had in Philadelphia. I like Philadelphia more than New York. I liked Philadelphia more than New York. Right now, I really have to flip that, because Philadelphia was like, and New York was like, it was still grimy. It was still overpriced. It was still way too many people. It wasn't as bad as what I was expecting. Because pandemic, and there just weren't that many people around. But I liked it a heck of a lot. Even though it was a billion degrees, it was like 101 or something. I liked it so much more than Philadelphia, because I was open and receptive, and I wasn't as so utterly beaten down by being overworked. I just got to remember that. These are like basics. These are basics in my life. You think it would just stick, but it doesn't. There's like a certain level of work that I should do, because I'm capable of doing more does not mean that it's good for me. I need to do less. That's why I do the job that I do, because I don't need to work 40 hours. So why should I work 40 hours? I shouldn't, right? Obviously. That I had put these limitations out, stuck to my guns. Yes, it caused an avoidant crisis. But it made me receptive to my coping strategies. So these are some pretty big extremes, I'll give you that. But use me as a lesson, and again, these are the types of things I should know from like dealing with my kid, my son, when he was little, and he was doing therapy for his autism. We would actually plan it when he was going to start a new therapy and learn a new thing. We would time it. This sounds nuts. This is truth. I would take him to Disney World because it would make him more flexible and adaptable, so that he would be able to do the therapy more and better, and it would sink in, because he would be more flexible after a trip to Disney, because everything there was different. He couldn't be rigid. Everything was different, and also everything was sort of like fun. So, he was forced to go out of his comfort zone in a good way. And so I should know, that forcing yourself to do something, it makes you more flexible and open, and makes good things possible. And again, I'm not saying go so far out of your range. The thing that I did was put down limitations so that, it was self-care is what it was, and putting myself first. Now, that's almost impossible to do when you have avoidant personality disorder. So, what was the effect? How has it been going? Now I'm back to work. Okay, ready to clunk yourself on the forehead and say, I can't believe you idiot? Again, I can't sort of wrap my head around, that just because I'm able to do something, I shouldn't necessarily, and two, I have the right, or maybe even you know, the responsibility that I need to put my foot down. I didn't work for 4 days. I took the day off ahead of time because I knew I would be exhausted, and I was. And then I went to New York for 2 days, and I took the day off after because I knew I would be exhausted, and I was, from hiking around New York. So I took off 4 days, and what happened? Basically, they tried to have me work all the hours that I missed this weekend, including Saturday. I worked, are you ready? 14 and a half hours straight without a break. Idiot. You can say it, and it's the truth. Absolute idiot. Have I not learned anything? No, that's not what's happened. What's happened is, again, I was energized and I was able to do it. What's going to be bad now is that I've done it. They know I'm capable of it, and they're going to say, can you do it again? Can you do it again? Can you do it again? And now it's so much easier if you put the limitations down straight from the beginning. No, I can't. And truthfully, I had expected to work another 14 hours today. I would still be working right now. However, in a nutshell, the people behind the scenes, they were like, yeah, I don't really want to do this. By the way, the ghost did not say hello, so I just turned around. I don't know where the cats are. There's at least 2 out here. They're probably in the shadows, watching, making fun of me. Anyway, so my coworkers were like, no, we're gonna sort of shut the pipeline down. Not completely, but they cut it right back. And then, again, I was trying to be cheeky. And I was like, oh, well, there's no work for me. I guess I'm done, right? And I, of course, expect them to say, oh, wait a minute. If you wait 5 minutes, there will be more work. You just sit right there. No, but no. They were like, yep, nope, go. You're done. I mean, that's what I wanted. That's what I needed. I worked 8 hours today. I think they're aware of how close I am to burning out completely and just stopping. And again, if they don't have the people working, then they can say, well, we're not able to do it. I also would not be at all surprised if I get some blame thrown at me. Like, oh, she left. We didn't have anybody available because she left. People tell whatever kind of stupid tales they want to tell. But, seriously. So, in the last 2 days, I worked 22 hours out of 36. That's a freaking hell of a lot of work. That's even worse than I was doing before I put my foot down, right? Dense. Absolutely dense and stupid. So, I'm just going to have to start saying no again. And mean it. And I will be able to do it. So, the stressful things that have been, on my case, for instance, my sister calling constantly about this internment and party and whatever she's got planned for my parents in October, which is fairly close, but, it's also not. Funerals, they get planned in 2 and 3 days. So 6 weeks is quite a lot of lead time for the funeral industry, to whatever. But I mean, it's like she has an hour or something, and then she just starts bombarding me and harassing me. Please, you know? So that's going to happen again, because she can't help herself. I see eyes. I wonder if that's my cat. Probably. Or it's a skunk or something. Let's see. No, it's that little black cat. That's nobody's. It's somebody's, but it's not mine. Hello, little black cat. She's jumped half a mile because the thing suddenly moved. It's a very sweet little cat. But, anyway. Oh, now it's going to follow me. Yeah, so, I mean, one step forward and 3 steps back. I don't know what's going on. But I am super aware of it, and I know that it's not, something. You want to see this cat? This cat that's not my cat? Not my cat. They still follow me. They think they're supposed to. There it goes running ahead. See? Wants to hang out with me. I think that being aware is definitely a very big first step. And especially that I'm catching on to it so quickly. And now I'm trying so hard. Again, I mean, this is nuts, but there's a big part of me, the avoidant part is like, okay, well, guess what? You're absolutely unnecessary to them, and that's why they got you out of there, and they don't care one bit. And it's like, no, I know who I'm dealing with. I'm dealing with an incredibly selfish, self-centered, self-focused person, who again was like looking at me as a tool and an excuse to have less work. If I'm there, then they've got to keep things to a certain level. And if I go, then they have an excuse to not work so hard. That's what that was about. That was all of what that was about. That wasn't benevolence of, oh, I understand how much you've worked in the past day and a half. Well, we're going to cut you loose. No, that's not what it was about. It was about this person looking for an excuse not to do work herself. But my avoidant head, of course, is saying, they hate me, I suck, they can't stand the quality of my work, and they were looking for any excuse to get rid of me. You got to understand, my boss on this, the first day I went back to work, literally did not speak to me. Like, the entire time. Not a thing. No, and my boss loves to complain about the clients. Constantly complaining. There's like this, this just chatter, and it is constant. It's just like, will you just shut up? Can't you just be positive about anything at all, ever? But no. It's complain. And if something happens that's worthy of a complaint, which is like almost everything, that my boss will repeat it for even days on end. Just constant barrage of complaints. Oh, it's horrible. It's unprofessional. I mean, everything about it. It's just really bad. I know, I should quit and get out of there. Actually, I was talking to somebody else. You know what they say? They say that as a group, they group, people in statistics by all kinds of categories. They group them by gender. They group them by money. They group them by religion, etc. The number one group that will never get a divorce, will never ask for a divorce, are people with avoidant personality disorder. It doesn't matter how bad the marriage gets. They stick with it. They never, ever try to get out. And it's not quite that bad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Did you hear that? Good, she shut the window. Anyway, how loud I am. Oh well. What was I saying? Oh yes, they don't ever get divorced. And so the same sort of thing happens with job situations. People don't quit. Oh boy. Hey Percy, this one is actually my cat. Attempting to recover from that. I will recover from that. Did you hear that? Did you hear somebody yelling out the window at me? Oh, such hypocrites. But anyway. I will push through this. As soon as I can get the lungs full of air. Yeah, so people in that sort of situation, meaning those, sorry cat, that have avoidant personality disorder, they don't. Oh, I think this is Perry. Nope, I'm wrong. It's Poppy. You were supposed to go on the walk the whole time, buddy. He's the one with the weight issue. Really, I'm trying to regroup here. I'm sorry. Oh, what a horror. Yes, people do not quit their jobs when they have avoidant personality disorder either. Is this Pansy? What are you doing out here? She's not supposed to be this far from home. Because one, she has arthritis, and two, she has a heart murmur. I guess this is good news that the medication that she's been on for her arthritis is working, or else she would be this far from home. It would be too painful. Yes. So, do I expect to quit? No, I do not. It's because it's not the job that's the problem. It's the people. Obviously, this is avoidant personality disorder. I mean, it's the people. Everybody's quitting on this manager because she's terrible. Everybody can't stand working with her. And so they all quit because they're like, God, it's awful. But I mean, I know she can't stand the job because look at how she's behaving, and the entire department is just dissolved, I mean, stuff is not getting done the way it should. So maybe they will shut the entire department down, in which case I won't have a job. I mean, it'll be fine. I'll just get another one. I'm saying this as a person who is like in trauma at the moment, and I'm really sorry, and that's a joke, but Purse? I mean, did you hear that lady yell out the window at me? That I'm so loud that apparently I woke her up. I mean, give me a break. Do you know how often I do this? Whatever. I don't think, because, I mean, I don't know. I mean, who knows? With my luck, who knows? Maybe she'll hang around forever. But I do not think that the manager will be there for much longer. Because she hates it. And then they'll get somebody else, and it will be a better situation. The work will be fine. Hopefully it'll be a little less work, because without this absolute shrew, then we'll be able to retain people. And in the meantime, I will be absolutely mortified. I can't believe I just got yelled at. I mean, I'm not loud. That's what she said. Oh my God, can you believe how loud you are? I woke her up talking while walking across the street from the house, and I think she was on the second floor. Buy earplugs. I mean, you've seen the condition of this road and that road and everything else. Give me a break. If she can sleep through the construction, please just give me a break. Anyway, yes, I won't be silenced. I mean, how many years have I been walking up and down that street? So give me a break. That's the first time I've ever had somebody yell at me out the window like that. Anyway, more or less, that's the update. Yeah, I know, Kat. And what's the matter with you? He needs a break. Yeah? He needs a break. I'm going to turn this off now so that I don't get yelled at by any of my other neighbors. I'm not yelling, by the way. I'm just like talking. So this... Oh, now I'm like stumbling over the rocks in this chewed up road. That's what's happened. And I'm going to stop this now. Bye.